Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. In today's class, we will be taking a look at creating simple montage in After Effects. And the objective of this class is to, one, again, um, for you to see how the different types and different objects function in After Effects, how to manipulate them, that is, keyframing them to tell our stories. And yes, and the style will be looking into is it's called montage. Another word for montage is a slideshow. That's piecing. The idea of montage is that piecing either video or pictures and music together, even voiceover to tell a story. It's like convey a message. So, but this time around, will just be majorly to just be pictures alone. So let's jump into After Effects. Now, in After Effects, I've already imported my files, right? And this is a continuation of because we've looked at how to import files in the previous video. So right now, I wouldn't go into all of that. So now I'll just walk off from there. So I have my um, comp here, and it's named importing files, which is not what I want. Let me rename it. To rename a composition, remember to rename any file, once you have it selected, you press the enter. That's the return key, right? Like this, you rename. But I don't want that. I press escape. This is not what I want. But to rename a comp, you press Control K. So I rename it away from importing files to simple montage. Simple montage. So, and all I'm doing now is what is motivating me is the script, because I already have a script which I showed us the last time. I already have a script, and this is the script. So this is what is motivating every both the footages I have, that's the picture and also video too that I have here. The idea here is outstanding. So it says, line one says, being outstanding takes proper strategy, focus, learning, and relearning. So this is just in a nutshell. This is just the concept for now. Keeping it very, very much simple. Then later on we'll build up from here. So so with that, I have here, I have all these images here, right? So these are the images that I've imported already. So I'll be starting off with this. So once you double click, you want to, if you double click, once you are in this project panel, it takes you to the layer panel. This is the layer panel. This layer panel is different from the from the comp panel. This comp panel is a particular comp that I am in, and this is a simple montage, right? So I'm starting off with this, and I've also imported my music. Though duplicated is the same. So let me delete one. So here I have my music. So I will do a preview now for you to hear it. So this will act as the background music for what we'll be working with. So yes, I need to scale this to fit my comp. To scale, remember S. I press S, and yes, though, but I don't do that often. I can actually drag it from here and scale it, holding my shift, right? I drag here, but many times I rather just scale it from this, from the once I hit S and it brings out the S property, that's the scale property. I scale from here. So here, yes, we have our image. Remember, the first concept is the first idea is being outstanding. That's the text now. So come here, bring out my test 2. Yeah, the shortcut for that is Control T to bring out the test 2. So I Control V. Yeah, I need it to be bigger than this. So everything is just simple. So I need it to be bigger than this. So this is the text. Before I go to scaling it up, I should come here. So I have the parameters here to format my text. We here I can scale the text up, which I just did. But to a large extent, yeah, let's change the color to white. But mind you, I'm just like, to a large extent, before like now I'm making a choice of color, right? Before I do all of this, before now, the whoever speaks to me, except maybe just a random person, but many times once is what's it called? Though even if it's just a random person, before I jump into this, I must have made what's it called? My color palette. But it's just that okay, I just wanted to get this across. The interest here is not so much of the overall workflow, but for us to get a sense of animation. So next time, the best practice is that once a client, yes, somebody gives you the project to do, they should have a color palette already that you need to go to their social media handle or website to like yeah, get a feel of, and you now streamline it to say okay, this is the color palettes that we use in 1, 2, 3. The major one, the one they call accent, and the neutral one. So but for now, let's just keep it very simple, very basic. So now I'm going for white. Why am I choosing white? Because that dark color wasn't really coming out, so I'm choosing white so that it will pop. And I have this practice of doing Control D. I just did Control D to duplicate. Control D duplicate. So I want to break this out. I want to remove this being from here. Just have outstanding alone. Then go to, yes, remove this one from here. So just have the being alone here. So and to center it, once it's selected, I come to align. If I can't find align here, align should have been here, but since it's not here, I go to Windows. Yeah, align. Yes, so here's the align 2. So with this, you see, with this, it allows you to align things right smack in the middle. So I'm putting it in the middle, and these two smack in the middle. So I can afford to see scale this one up. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, and yes, with After Effects and many Adobe softwares, it allows you, even though this is in sentence case, right? I can convert everything to uppercase by hitting this to all cap by hitting this button here. So if I want to remove it from there, I can also hit this back again. So I think this works better. Yeah, I think this works better. So scale. I want this to be bold. There are there are there are like some graphic ideas going here, in the idea that okay, once once someone looks at this, like this image, this whole frame now, right? What is the most important thing, message that you want the person's eye to catch, right? It's not about this being, is rather is outstanding, right? So that's what is motivating me in making the outstanding larger, and yes, yeah, larger than this. And there's another practice I do is that we leave it like this. Is that I leave it like this, or I increase the can so that it will, yes, two things. Contrast, that's the idea of what, yeah. This, there should be contrast. Contrast is all of this is a graphics idea. What you find in graphics, when you're learning graphics, contrast. Whenever you're building your composition, there should be a huge contrast. Okay, contrast came into play when I changed this color. Before it was darker, but it wasn't coming out. But we needed a contrast between the color, between the text color, so that we're able to see the color of the, we're able to see the text should read easily as compared to their former one. Then another thing here, you should have a contrast between this being and this outstanding. One way to go about that is, yes, I've scaled this up, right? I can also come here, instead of making this is, I'm using popping. The I'm using popping, the font here, the font is popping. So I can come here and make it either regular or thin. Okay, let's just leave it at regular. Then I can come here and increase the kerning. Let me see, but I'm not sure if that would work. Let's see if this works, looks better as opposed to leaving it in zero. I think, okay, I think this works. So with this, I can put drop shadow. This is an effect now called drop shadow. Yeah, come to my effect and presets. Yeah, add the drop shadow. Type, the way the effect and preset works is that once I'm here, I type. I need a drop shadow on it so that you're able to stand out more. Contrast again. So I type drop, drop. Yeah, this is the drop shadow. I double click. How to add effects? I double click on it. Since I have that selected, I double click on this, and yes, it brings the drop shadow. So I can afford to extend the distance. Yes, extend it more, and yes, increase the softness. I can also increase the opacity. But all of this later. Our major thing is for us to here is for us to, these are look and feel, but our major thing is for us to get our hand on animating them, right? The objective is for us to get a feel of the how all of this, how to manipulate this to tell our story, which is this simple story we have here. So, okay, let's say this image is already here, right? But why this is going on, why this is going on? Okay, let's say the image is already in, right? Then we need this outstanding to come in, to slide in, right? We need it to slide in. So the way to, now that's um keyframing again. So okay, let's start from being. So let's just focus on being, right? First of my first frame, I like this as the first frame, this image to be there, right? Then I will need this one to come in, the being to come in, right? So it means at the niche, that's the starting. This is 0 frame, 0 second, everything zero out. So it means it needs to be outside, right? Okay, okay. I'm thinking in my mind now. I need it to come from bottom up. So it means at 0 second. But however, get one thing. This may be a little bit complicated for some of you. Like in when I was arranging this composition, I've arranged it in such a way that I like this particular position, right? That they are in now. So it makes more sense for me to register this particular position. Though even at 0 second, this is not where I want them to be. Let me focus on the being first. This is not where I want this being to be. At 0 second, I need it to be outside. But after 0 second, right? Let's say at one, let's say at 20 frames, right? 20 frames, I need it to be here. So it makes more sense instead of me to drag it out. It makes more sense for me to register it here now. So I'm press, and to do that again, I need it to be outside. Then at some time it comes in. So what attributes now? You now need to ask yourself what attributes. Remember before now we've talked about the different attributes we have. The basic attributes are basic attributes to like get something moving, get something animating. Are the opacity, the scale, the rotation, and which other one? There's the anchor too there, but barely make use of that. But this is so you have we have opacity, rotation, scale, and position. This anchor two, once you move anchor two, right, it start affecting the position, but many times you won't really make use of it. Like you won't really animate the anchor point. So what we just focus on is the position scale. So since I need this no, not this one, the bin, right? Here's the transform. Since I need it to come from bottom to then to this particular position, then you now need to ask yourself what attribute is that? That means is the position attribute, right? Is a position. So with that, I say P. I press my P, right? So So I like it here now that it is already. Okay, no, let me not make this complicated. Okay, let's say okay, at 0 second, right? At 0 second, I need it outside. I don't need it to be on the shoe. Right? So I take it outside at 0 second, 0 0, like it's outside now. We can't see it. Right. So we can't see it in our yeah, we can't see it now in our composition. So all I need to now do is to hit the what position, right? Then I go. Remember to move forward. If you have read the PDF I provided, there's a PDF I provided on shortcut, or just Google Adobe Shortcuts. The way to move forward, like I can actually drag, but this is not the best optimal way to work. I can actually drag this right forward with my um using my mouse to drag this timeline indicator, but many times it's not the best way to go about it. So rather I rather do control forward arrow. With control forward arrow I move just one frame, but this time around I need to move in 10 frames. So I now need to add shift to that. So I press control shift forward arrow, so I move 10 frames. That's one frame now. That's 10 frame ahead. Then another 10 frame ahead. That's equals to 20 frames. You can see it here. Equals to 20 frames. So once I'm in 20 frames, I bring it out to that former, maybe near that former position that I put it in there, right? So it's here now. So what that will give us now, and let me press the N to like yes, to bring this down here. N. So what that leaves us with now is that this comes in, right? This comes in as the music is playing. So okay, let's have it coming fully and settle. So it settles. So okay, then as it comes, before it settles, I need this I before it settles completely, I need the outstanding to also start coming into. So it means somewhere around this, right? This is 13 frame. This is 13 frame. I need the outstanding to start coming in also, right? So it means at that 13 frame, it should be outside. It shouldn't be seen in the show. It shouldn't be seen on stage, right? So we need to take it outside first of all. So once it's outside, we record it. We record the position. We record the position. Remember, I had the thought because the way it works is that you need to think, okay, this thing that I want to achieve, how do I go about it? What's the picture I have in my mind? Okay, the picture I had in my mind was that the text should start from outside, from the bottom, then comes and settle at that particular position, right? Then I'll now ask myself what attributes to achieve that. I say what? Position, right? Then that is what why I'm focused on position now. I'm using position. So I press my P again. I record, and at this particular time, this is when this one needs to start coming in. I press my position, then 10 frames ahead. That's holding my control shift forward arrow 1 and 2. Then I bring it out also completely. So with this now, you should be able to have this comes in, then this follows. Now these are not looking amazing, but in our next class we look into how to finesse things, how to look into um using the graph editor to like finesse things. But right now, let's just have this. But I think this is coming, but with the timing, I think this is coming a little bit late. It should come much more earlier. So how do I do that? What do I mean? See, it's coming out a little bit late. So how do I fix that? I select its keyframe, and move it back in time. So it means before it was taking more than 1 minute and 6 frame to come in, right? But since I now move it now to come a little bit faster. That's okay. Then once, yes, I like this. A very good way to, before we move to the graph editor, a very good way to finesse your animation is to select whatever keyframe you have and press F9. You press F9. Yes, F9. Function F9. F9. Oh, mine is not. My F9 is not working now. Why? Okay. Yeah. My F9 is not working. Okay. Then another way for that is you just go, you right click on them. Since they are all selected, you go to keyframe assistant, then easy ease, right? Easy ease them. So if you did the bouncing ball animation, you should get familiar with these parameters here. This easy ease in, easy out, right? The idea is that okay, once it's coming in, it should slow. Ease just means okay, calm down, come in calmly. That's easy in calmly. Then ease out is that calm down to go out. Then easy ease is like just both in both ways. So you can see the shortcut for that is F9. But I wonder why mine wasn't coming up. Okay, so this is a little bit better. But this is how I will leave it now. Just for us to get to the overall idea of how montage is done. So why this is happening, right? Then our image is looking a little bit boring. There's a way we can actually make it. Yes, if you look at montage, this is very common. In a rule in animation is that your whatever you have, your composition shouldn't be static. Nothing should be static. Yes, that's a good rule. Nothing should be static. Things should be moving. If things are static, they should be static for a reason and not just for no explanation. So in that regard, our the way to give movement and to make it a little bit dynamic to our box image is to scale it. So it will be scaling up as this is coming, as these other ones are doing. So it means I need to now press S to bring out the scale. Then I go point in time, then I scale it up. Yeah, something like this. So let's see, is that too fast? Okay, I think that's okay. So, and I think these guys are coming in too slow. So what how to fix that, I move. So it took, okay, let's focus on this being, right? It took it, that's 20 frames to come out, right? You know what? Let's say, let me take it to 10 frames now. So this is exactly 10 frames. So I take it down here. Then also drag this one down and make count for it. Hold Control Shift forward arrow to 10 frames. So let's see. I think it should work better now. It looks better now than before. So let's say the golden rule is that try to read whatever text you have on this thing. That's a golden rule, but many times it depends also on the tempo, fastness, how fast your this thing is. Sometimes you can break the rule by the golden rules that whatever text you have, read it twice before you move forward, before you go forward. So let's say you have being outstanding, then we can cut from here. But I think yes, being outstanding. Yes, then we can cut from. Okay, let's say 2 seconds. I think 2 seconds is good enough. So we can cut from here, then introduce the next image, which is the next concept is where is it again now? Takes proper strategy. So yeah, and the image I want to use for that is this chess. So it gives the idea of strategy, right? So I scale it up a bit more, something like this. Yeah, taking it up so we'll be able to have the text somewhere here. Okay, so now how do I transit from here to here? And in 2 seconds, right? This should come in by 2 seconds. How do I transit from there to there? There are a couple of ways I can actually fade this one in since it's sitting on top of them, right? So when it fades in, it fades to cover this all the everything under. So it all depends. I think okay, let's do that. So I have, so to fade it in, I have my T. Remember T for the opacity. So at this particular time, at 2 seconds, right, it should be at zero opacity. We shouldn't see it, right? So it's at zero opacity. So I hit my um, I register my keyframe. Then I go. Remember the last one I did just 10 frames. I didn't go extremely to 20 frames. So I should just hold my Control Shift forward arrow. Then I bring it in completely. I bring it in completely. So yeah. Okay, let's see if that is working. Okay. Okay, but I think it was too fast. The fading in. So I can move this keyframe forward. The way to move a keyframe forward is Alt. Now before I was holding Control Control forward arrow. Then to move a keyframe forward, you hold Alt forward arrow. But I need to move it 10 frame ahead, so I hold Alt Shift forward arrow. So I'm moving it 10. I moved it 10 frame ahead now. So everything is happening under 20 frames. So let's see. Yeah, I think this is better now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think this is better. Okay, yeah, far better. So once this fades in, right? We also need the text to also come in, right? To like get the messaging. So yeah, and since I have it typed, right, I can come here and take and just copy Control C. Then, oh, then I come here. So instead of also starting from scratch, so also remember, look at these two, the way the texts are behaving here. So you can see the strategy is the big, like is the major idea, right? So it should be the way it is behaving, that strategy should be the one to replace this outstanding. So instead of starting from scratch, I can just duplicate all of this. Yes. And by this time, this all of this has faded out. We don't need all of this, right? So we need to end this. Oh, this should be the topmost. This my audio file should be on top. Yeah, it should be the topmost. I shouldn't even touch that at all. So then I need all of this and this picture that's underneath out now. So the way to end them now is to hold alt and the bracket arrow and the bracket, the square bracket, the closed square bracket there, that cuts them out. So once we come here, they are no longer in our comp, they've ended. So we now need to, it gives us more room to focus on these other ones. So I need to control D to build up from here. So I bring this in. So okay, let's say they start coming in around here when this fully fits in. So they start coming in around here. Okay. So okay, let's see maintain this the position still. Okay, let's see maintain that. Okay, what's the message again now? Okay, take strategy. Okay, yeah. So it means this being I bring out my type 2. Yes, selecting all of this. I press Control V. Just press Control V. So now, yes, this is a very good dilemma that I'm in. If I start, okay, let me do the wrong way, then I can now correct it. So since I already have an animation registered here, and yes, and I love this animation, right? And it's here that I started pasting this. Right? Like the normal thing that I need to do is to nudge this back, right? To take it back with my, that's by doing this. I'm holding shift and I'm pressing my left arrow. See, but once I do that, it adds another keyframe. That's exactly not what I want. That's exactly not, because now once it comes in here, it goes like this. I think this is looking nice, Sha. I think we may adopt this, but the timing is wrong. But what I wanted to say, I will delete this for now. But in this kind of situation, right, you want to, the idea is that I really want to position this properly and I don't want to affect the former keyframe. I love the way that keyframe is going, right? I don't want to affect the former keyframe. The way to go about that is you enter on that keyframe. Now this is a dummy keyframe that I want to use to reposition this. So, well, in a way to save it for the newbies, if this is a little bit complicated, to save yourself from this stress of what I'm trying to explain now, if you don't grasp, if you can't get a hang on it, just start from scratch and like reanimate again. But this is the better way to go about it, sharp up until then. This is a better way to go about it. So I have this registered, right? Later I will delete it because it's just a dummy. Because if I come here, this my this or the one under hasn't come in fully. So hasn't come in fully, right? So it makes more sense for me to be here to repositioning it, to do the repositioning. So, and once I do that, it creates a keyframe. And if I start moving it now, it will do that thing I did. So the way to now go about it, since I have this selected as a dummy text, I will not select every position or that particular attribute, especially position. That's the one that does this thing a lot. I select this particular attribute and now move it now. See the whole, so it's still maintaining that first keyframe that I have on it, the first keyframe I have on it. That's the first animation that I did on it. It's still maintaining it while it's moving still. So, and for here, I only want the takes proper right at the top. I only want takes proper. So I can select this and delete that. Yeah, proper. So yeah, I'm tempted to start moving this and repositioning it, right? But it doesn't make any sense for me to be doing double work. Rather, I should come here, get my strategy text right, Control C and Control V it inside this. So yes, this will give me a better sense of okay, how is what's it called? Yes, because it's from here I'll now know how to position this one on top, right? So and with this, I'm having a feeling like I need to scale this here. I need to scale this up a little bit more. So the way to go about that now is I can from here scale it up with this the font size that I have here, right? Let's do that. I do that. I scale it up a little bit more to like give this contrast. Okay. So I think that is about it. That's right. That's okay. Now you remember we did our alignment and we immediately I typed in this I control V. I pasted this strategy. It shifted and moved. Now and if I press my U to bring the whatever of animation I have in a particular layer, U to bring everything you've animated. If I Once I have it selected and I go to align and hit center, it creates another keyframe for me. That is not what I want. Remember, all I wanted was that same animation that we did here. Let's just still have it, maintain it here. But now it's doing another thing, which I like to some extent. Sha. I think later we incorporate that, but this is not, to a large extent, this is not what I want. So that's not the best way to go about it. Remember what I said. Best way to go about it. Let me delete this. Is that I hit here now. Okay, no, instead of doing that, let me go here. So once I'm here now, select all of those so that once it's making change, is making change in proportion or in relation to the overall animation that you've done. It won't just, because once I have this on this, even if I automatically it's selecting, it's saying once I have it on this particular, once I have my timeline indicator directly on a particular keyframe, even if I don't have the keyframe selected, it's telling, it automatically says, okay, you need this keyframe adjusted, right? So once I'm here, I hit this, it means it has adjusted this. It's the information is saying that start from here, oh, then later come here, right? So you can see the way it has made the thing coming as different from what we wanted, different from what we actually want. So let me do Control Z on that. Control Z. So rather, the way to go about that is I have this selected, I have that selected, and hit my align to center. This is what as though it's saying align horizontal, but this, yes, if you have more than one object selected, it aligns them horizontal this way. But right now, since I don't, it's only just one object I have, it will align it to the composition. When if you're in Illustrator, or it will align it to the to the artboard. But here we are dealing with composition, to align it to the composition, to the center of the composition. So once I hit this, oh, it didn't work. Okay, I hit this. Oh, still not working. Obviously not working. Okay, let me take it manually then. Then I take it to this. So I had all of this selected now. So I'm moving it with shift and forward arrow. So this is like about center. I'm like in the center. So I will also do the same for this. So once I have this now, I can come back here and start editing this one. Remember, at the time we increased the kerning. So right now, I don't think we need to increase the kerning anymore. So I can come back here and reduce this. I increase it to 370. So I can bring it to, in fact, zero. Yeah, zero. If at all, it should even, if at all, it should even be minus. So with this selected, if I start moving this now, it's saying it will only just be creating a separate, what's it called? It will only be creating a separate keyframe, that's position. It will be creating a third positioning, but that's not what I want. Rather, I'm just using it as a dummy to shift this one. So how to go about that? I select all of these and move it down here. Remember, to a large extent, I'm doing all of this to like give you guys a pro bono and all of that. If this is a little bit complicated for you, just delete the former keyframe and start from scratch. If once you, one thing, as I said before now, is that one thing with knowledge is that there are some things that they may not be very practical to you, but once you're able to find yourself in that situation often and often, then you start seeing the reason why you should apply that knowledge, right? But I'm just giving you guys now to just arm you so that once you find yourself in that situation, one, you may, once you find yourself in the first three to even to five times, right? You may not do this, you may not, or you may not, but once you have the knowledge, it will actually prompt you to make some informed decision, right? So all of this, some of you may have a hang on it, some may not, but it's good to, for me to tell you how all of this behaves. So once I'm done now, I can afford to delete. That's for this upper one now. Remember, I just use this as a dummy, and how I did it, I made everything selected. So once it's done, I delete. So they all come. Okay. If you notice something, the image is very and yes, is there's not much contrast between, even though I did a drop shadow, but still there's plenty of white going on in on the image that is not letting my text read very proper. Now I could have said, okay, let me go black. If I go black, I don't think, let me even try and see. I don't think it's the best. Okay, I'm using this picker tool to select black. I don't think it's the best still. I think it reads better than before, but there's a way to, in this kind of situation where you don't want to be like doing rainbow color, your text is just like being plenty color. Let me do Control Z on this. The way to go about this now is that you create an overlay. What do I mean by overlay? I press my Control Y to create a new solid, right? I create a new solid and I make this color dark. Okay, I can pick from here and make it dark, the darker version of that. Um, yeah, I say overlay. So it's here now. So it's covering this that chest text. So I can press my T, I press my T, my opacity, and reduce it a bit so you can see. Though we can still see one, we can still see our picture, but it now fades it, fade it a bit, making our text read more. So this is like a pro tip. So yes, once we have this in, so this time around, I want to do a reverse. Instead of it scaling up, I want it to scale down. So it means that this, at the beginning, I want it to be very large. The scales value to be very, okay. Let's say even here. Let's say start from here, right? So once it's here, though mind you, it we see the image fully here, right? But many times it doesn't sit well when it's until we see it fully. That's when we start now scaling it down. Rather, we should have it start scaling down somewhere here already. So I hit. So the idea is that it's very large now. So I register that largeness. It's very large. So if I go in time, I need it to scale down a bit. Remember the golden rule, nothing should be static. That's what we are doing here now. So I scale it down. So, and I give it time. Remember, I think this should just be like 2 seconds now. It takes proper strategy. Yeah, takes proper strategy. Yeah, so let's say at 5 second, yeah, we bring in the other image or video, whatever it is. This also okay, probably bring the video in now. But let me go back to my script. So it says takes proper strategy. Okay, for me not to bore you people, I will streamline. Before I wanted to say focus, then discipline. Yes, for the what was it called? The video I have, the idea is for discipline. Yeah, somebody exercising, all right, is a good way to illustrate discipline, right? So before I wanted to do focus, but I think I will skip that focus. Take discipline. Okay, I'm looking either this or this one. Which one should work better? Okay, I think this one works better. The person is suffering here now, right? So this one should work better. So yeah, so at 5 seconds, this should come in. Yeah, remember how I came here? I said to enter your layer panel, you double click on it. Once you are in your project panel here, I double clicked on this to come here. And the very good thing that this once it's a video or audio, it gives you a quick edit option. So I can actually do a preview here and go to where I want this to start making use of this footage. So I think let's say here, somewhere here. Let's say somewhere here, right? uh Then I can hit this button, this. So it means once I drag it in here now, once I drag it from here, that it start from here. Then where should it end? Okay, but let's just bring it into our comp before we decide where it ends. So at 5 seconds, my timeline indicator is at 5 seconds. So I drop it here now. For me to move it straight to where my timeline indicator is, I press um, the open arrow, the open bracket rather, the open brackets. So I press it, so it comes there, takes it. So you can see it has taken it straight to 5 seconds. So I need to scale this down. I think it's more than that's like 2K or 4K. So and ours is 1920 by 1080 Full HD. So here I've scaled it down. So let's preview. Okay, it's running. There's a little of camera shake going, but that's not. There's some camera shaking going on, but that's not what you should worry about now. So as it's coming, yeah, a thought is coming in my mind now. How this should come in? The text should come in this way. It should come from left to right, outside of the left panel of the left stage. They should slide in. So also instead of building from scratch, I'll just duplicate this one, Control D, and yeah, duplicate that. I come in here. So I don't need this particular animation. So I can afford, mind you, since I don't need this particular animation, I don't want them. If they're outside here, right, and I hit this end this keyframe, they will stay where the timeline indicator was. So even if when I say you can still see them, they are just outside there. So the better way to do that, I do Control Z on that. I make sure they've come in completely before I now end the keyframe. I say, you understand, delete the keyframe. So it's a two-way thing to end, to remove your animations. Either you come here and click this, which I did before, or you you select, or you select all the keyframe and hit delete. So that deletes all of that. So right now, the image I have in my mind somewhere here, right? Yeah, okay, yes. For the okay, before I start doing serious compositioning, I need to type in this discipline, right? Okay. I think that's what I need. I don't need the text. I don't need this for now. Okay. I think yeah, you can afford to just keep it here. So let's see how it works goes. Okay. So with the image I have in my mind is that at this particular time, when we are starting this particular scene, um, yeah, it should be outside. It should be outside. So it means I take this with my shift and my right arrow key. I move it outside and hit my position. So position one, mark position one. Then I go forward in time. Let's say 10 frame. Holding my control shift forward arrow. Then I bring it in. I bring it in here. So at here, you know what? I should delay it a bit. Let the image come in fully before. Okay, to delay it, I can move this, the whole of the layer here. I can move it this way. Yeah, and I can select this, but I think it should come in a little bit faster. But let me do my, if my F9 will answer me this time around. It's still not answering me. Okay, right click on it, keyframe assistant, easy ease. So it comes in. Yeah, I think this is better now. So yes, so we have this, takes proper strategy, discipline. So I think we can also do a little bit overlay here too. Okay, let's yeah, duplicate the overlay and bring it up here and put it here. Does this work? I think it's too much. Well, yeah, I think it's working, but it's just too much. Just bring it down a little bit. That's, I'm reducing the opacity just a little bit. Yeah, so here we have it. So what's in last concept? What's the last idea? Okay, learning and relearning. So I have relearning. Okay, let's go with learning and. So for how long will this last? Remember, as of now, okay, and watch, I did a quick cut here. So this is just a cut. I just cut straight to the, I didn't fade, I didn't do any of those. Just cutting straight to this. But that works. So once you cut here, it means everything under here. Okay, let's say somewhere here. All this one, select all of them, holding your Alt and close brackets, right? You cut all of them. So to keep our comp tidy. This room is just, I want to create more room for, yes. I'm hitting this button here, this expand or collapse layer switch panel. Yeah, to make more room. So we have discipline. So at 7 seconds, I think 7 seconds is enough for us to cut to the next. So I drag in my learning. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, and I hit my open brackets, the box bracket. Okay, I scale it up. S to see my this thing, I press this. I expanded this thing again to see my panel, to see my attribute rather. So to scale this up. Okay, I see. I'm also thinking. So yes, this should come in this way. It should be bigger this way. Then it scale down a little bit. So while it's going, I'm thinking of how this should come in. Like it should slide in. That's at 0 second is here. So I do. So all of this is what's it called? Mm, well, you know what? Let it scale because I think we've used Control Z. I think we've used positioning a lot to introduce this. So let's scale it. Abi? Yeah, let's scale it. So at 0 second is yeah, but now see that dilemma again. Like if I say because I like this particular you know what? Let's go back. Let's take it out. Let's just take it out. So let's take it out here. To a large extent, I think I'm actually liking this because animation, right? I could have like okay, before now I've made all of this in prim and proper. Once I start the animation, I just tell you move this down here. But that's not in real life, that's not how it works. Many times when they give you projects, you even be asking yourself, can I actually do this thing? Right? You'll be doubting if you can actually do this thing. But once you jump in, you start okay, try this out, oh no, this doesn't work, this works, and you work. So to a large extent, I'm bringing that whole into this class here so that you guys get a feel of that. So yes, by this time it's outside, I hit my P to register it. I like at this particular time, I like where it is, so I need to now register it to say okay, stay here. Then I go in 10 frame. To go 10 frame, holding Control Shift forward arrow, then I bring it in. Still holding my shift and forward arrow to move it. I'm holding my shift and forward arrow to move it in now. So yeah, I think this is about it. So it means now somewhere here at this time it comes in, it slides in. So that's why the main times they call this slide animation. So I hit my function, my F9 that is not working. So I need to right click on it, then ease. So it comes in. So it comes in here. So I have my image already. So I need the what's it called? I need the text. Remember we didn't make use of this the last time, so we need it here now because it's a two-line text. It's a two-line message. So yeah, like I was meant to like change this color of the overlay so it will be very easier for me to dictate because right now I was mistaking it for okay which one is which. I was finding it difficult differentiating it between it with differentiating it from the text. So the best practice to go about that is to turn this okay, let's say yellow. Usually I turn either a null object or things I'm just using as a dummy this thing that is not really very much significant into yellow color. So yes, I come here to turn it to yellow. So to differentiate it from this other one. So okay, I have this text proper. We will change that to the next area. So I control D on this, bring this up in here. Oh, this is looking nice. The discipline, how it comes in, is actually looking nice. Let's have it that way. So does this have animation? And okay, it doesn't have animation and it takes proper. Yeah, what's the next message? Okay, says learning and relearning. Okay, we need to put the learning and yeah. So we have learning and yeah. So for this big one, we have relearning. Mind you, see what I just did now. I was on the VR, that's the selection tool, right? I double clicked on it to actually activate the. So instead of pressing Control T or selecting the text tool, I double clicked on it to automatically activate the text tool. So I Control V now to paste this. So see that dilemma again. I think it comes in full here, but this is still cut out. So it needs to come in. So the better way to do that, I can go to my last frame. You know what? Let's just go to our last frame alone. In this last frame now, right? The information here is that at 0 second it was outside, right? Don't mind this one, okay? At 0 second, this is it doesn't it was outside. So it start coming in. Watch it. It start coming in. Start coming in. Then it comes in fully here, right? Then it comes in fully. It means it didn't come in fully very much because of we've changed it to relearning. When it was discipline, it came in fully. So and I need to continuously do what move it into yeah. Let's say somewhere here. I think this is right. This is okay. I also need to now move this one learning and relearning. Okay, I'll take it down. Okay, I think this is where our overlay comes to play again, shines. Yeah, and by here, at this particular time, all this one under, we are no more making use of them again. So you can put alt, close brackets, yeah, then bring out the overlay, Control D, and put it over this here to see this text. Yeah, see it's paused out now. So I might need to delay this a bit, our learning coming in that way. I need to delay it a bit because it was clashing with this other one. Then yes. Then also, it shouldn't even be the first thing to come in. The first thing to come in is this one. Okay, and let me use this concept to introduce us to what is called parenting and child. I think yes, in our we'll see more of this in the when we start doing character animation and rigging. But let me just introduce us to it. So right now, instead of me animating this learning and separately, right? Since there's an animation on this already, right? It makes more sense for me to, you know what, latch onto that, make this learning a child of the relearning. What do I mean? There's a pick whip here. It's called a pick whip. It's a parent pick whip. I take it and connect it to this learning, right? And mind you, as I made sure that the animation has is like where the timeline indicator is where the animation has ended. That I did the linking. I parented I parented the learning to the relearning as I made it a child. The idea now is that this learning and is a child to relearning. How does that translate? If I were to take this out now, take it to the beginning now, it means that you know how the child, when very much in the African world view, the the parents are in control of the child, right? So this relearning now is the parent to learning and so is whatever animation is on it, it will feed it to this learning and so it comes in now with it. So though not so fantastical, but that explains the point. So that explains the idea. Yeah, but I think there's a little bit delay. It should boom here, start coming in already. Somewhere here is about here. Yeah. So when that happens, can scale this. This should start scaling down somewhere here before it completely settles. Start scaling down. So bring out the S. Start scaling it down. Yeah, right about somewhere there. So let's just play back and see how that works. So I think the scaling down is too fast. So the way to solve that is that you extend this. If I take this down in time, it will mean that it will take a longer hour or longer period of time to finish this course, this scaling down. So with that now, it will now go a little bit more slower. Yeah, go a little bit more slower. So with this, we've been able to tell our short story. So let me press Control just end till I end this here. So let's do a preview of our. Now to make your view this window to be bigger than it is, just once you hover your mouse on it, press the asterisk key, right? Yeah, it comes in fully. Yeah, it brings the preview window. It enlarges it. Yeah, it becomes the focal point of what you are doing. Then this is like I want to make this fit the comp. So the way to go about it, because now it's at 12.5%. So I need to make it to either to fit to 100%. So now once I play this, you can see what is. So in a nutshell, this is just a little bit montage happening. But I don't know if you noticed at the beginning, the sound tends to be it didn't come, it wasn't playing properly. So the way to fix that, you press your L. I think it took a while. The delay is looking good here, but when we make enlarge this, it was as if the delay wasn't nice. Let me see that again. Okay, I think this is okay. So one other practice I love to do is to come here, press once I'm towards the end. Okay, let's say where should this end? It's 9. Okay, okay. Let's learning and relearning. Okay, let's say from around about this time, it should fade out. So I come here. Remember this had the music should be up. So I'm here now. I press Ctrl Y to bring out a solid. Now this solid is meant to be pitch black, like completely black. It's what I call cutting. I just call it cutting, like as if after performance, as it fades out. So I say cutting. I say okay. Then it's covering the entire work, and which is not. So I press my open brackets to make it start from here. Then I open my T, that's opacity, reduce it completely, right? I make it 0, make it invisible. But as we graduate in time down to like 10 seconds, but that's like, that should be like 20 frames ahead, like one, two, yeah, 20 frame. Okay, let's say, let's bring it in. Then at this particular time, it comes in to pitch black, that will make it 100%. So what that does is that it fades. Yeah, so as it's fading, the music somewhere about this, even before the visual starts fading out, the music should also start fading out. How to fade the music now is you press L. L, just single L brings out this, right? I don't know if you remember, brings out the audio level. Then double L brings out the audio wave. But this is not what I want now, just single L. So I bring this out. I hit my audio. I keyframe this, the audio level. Then in time, I take it to like 40 something. Around 40 something, we shouldn't hear it again. But it still gives you the value to take it to like maybe more than that. Even this is like up to 100 or even 200 and something. But if you do that, the fade, it won't like fade. It will like fade out with huge force. And which is not what you want. You want something cool to just cool out, to give like the same interpretation that's happening visually here. Yeah, what's happening? Oh, you. I can't find the. I can't find the. I thought. I thought we just. Hmm. I thought we just animated our. Or is it? Is it on a different layer? We just animated this our cutting. Okay, let me quickly do that again. At this particular time, we don't want to see it at all. It's invisible. Then at here comes in fully. Yeah. So it gives us a fade out effect. So we also need to experience that. But a good practice for me, I start fading the music out before the cutting. That's the, yes, before the cuttings comes in. So at here it's normal, it's 0. Then somewhere here, I tend to take it to around 30 or 40 something. Let's say 40 minus 40. Minus 40 should do it. It should fade out. But if you go something somewhat above that, the fade out will, it won't happen with ease, it will just be abrupt. So with that, we can afford to cut the layer to somewhere there and also cut this cut into somewhere here. So our first montage. So nothing complex, but yeah. But I think the 40 was even too much. You can see. I think it's even too much. So let's take it to like minus 30 or 25 safe. So let's see. But yeah, it's better now. The fading out of the music is better now. Yeah, but you get the idea. So yes, that brings us to the end of this class. In the next class, I'll show us more about rendering and how to like yes, and also yes, I'll show us more about rendering and also how to do some file formatting to for so you'll be able to do your assignment. How to, because you need to record your voice to do your assignments, to do so how to, yeah, how to go about that.